Hi, Alan Stratton here from CostMatters.com. I'm a fan of spreadsheets in business. Now, why? I remember the time when we actually created spreadsheets on paper. In fact, I still have a supply of 7, 14, and even 28 column paper spreadsheets. Perhaps someday I can donate them to a museum. For now, they can rest in peace. Preparing a paper spreadsheet was an ordeal. Numbers were often obtained from big computer printouts. Whoops, some may not know what a printout is, but that's probably another article. Now, I would have to hand copy them into the appropriate row and column. What about copy and paste? Copy and paste was a pencil. At the end of the column, I would have to slide over to my desktop calculator. Desktop? Isn't all calculators handheld? Okay. My desktop calculator and add up all the numbers. The calculator printed each of the numbers on a paper tape. I would have to add the column over and over until I got the same total at least twice. Now, sometimes on a long sheet, I would have to go back and compare the tape to the spreadsheet and find my error and then run the total again. Now, in an audit situation, I'd have to specially fold the paper tape so that it showed that each layer was showing and attach it to the spreadsheet. Just so. If I didn't, my senior would get on my case. If I ran out of columns on my spreadsheet, I'd tape another spreadsheet to the side. It could go out to 100 columns if need be. Perhaps we should have a contest for who had the widest spreadsheet, that is, paper spreadsheet. Now, enough of my personal trip through purgatory. Manual spreadsheets actually forced a certain spreadsheet economy. If it wasn't important, you did not do it. My first spreadsheet on a computer used VisiCalc on an Atari 800 computer. It did help that I worked for Atari at the time. Now, compared to the paper, I was in heaven. I no longer had to manually add up the numbers. I could even automatically multiply and divide numbers. It was amazing. If I ran out of room on the spreadsheet, I could easily just add more columns. Now, this early spreadsheet did have a downside. It had limits on the number of columns and on the computer memory. 21K of memory did not go a long way. But there was a solution. I could use the DIF facility. I'm not sure what that stands for anymore, to transfer data from one spreadsheet to another. Indeed, this was heaven on earth. How could it get any better? But now we fast forward. Now, everyone has a computer, or 2 or 3, and a spreadsheet, or 2 or 3, or dozens and dozens. Spreadsheets are used in practically every corner of a business. It was a no-brainer to fire up a spreadsheet. Gone, however, is the forced economy and scrutiny of paper spreadsheets. Recently, I reviewed a client's cost accounting process. Their complaint? The process was taking too long. Now, spreadsheets were everywhere. It should have been a highly efficient process. But wait, there's more. The data came from the company's production control system. Now, a cost accounting application interfaced to the production control data to actually supply the cost. The accountant would extract this data into a database, at least it was electronic, run some processes, and then import the data into a spreadsheet. She would then change the spreadsheet, adding and deleting columns and putting in subtotals. She would review the data and highlight certain items. So far, not too bad. Then she would email the spreadsheet to 6 other product specialists for their review and input. Her cover email cited a deadline for them to return the information to her. Now, they would review the data and make changes to their copy of the spreadsheet. Then, hopefully by the deadline, they would email the spreadsheet back to her. Inevitably, she had to follow up with the laggards. Now, when she had all the spreadsheets back, she reviewed each of them and posted their changes back into her master spreadsheet. at least she had copy and paste. Then she would review the result with her controller. After a few more changes and a few more adjustments, she emailed the results back to the other 6 people and hand wrote a journal entry for the final official record. No wonder the process took so long. Portions had been automated, but no one had ever looked at the whole process to understand it. Now, similar situations abound in business today. Everyone is a spreadsheet jockey, but few look at the whole process. I'd love to hear your spreadsheet stories, good or bad. I think they could be valuable to each other. Please share them below. And remember, cost does matter to your business profitability. This is Alan Stratton from CostMatters.com.